And most people don't want to hear good news. You know why? Good news means now you have to be responsible for what you've heard. I shared with you all, or I shared this morning, how I was trying to help an 11-year-old to right set their life. And long story short, they were saying, "Oh, well, we have this for her, we have this for her, and we've got that." Here's the problem. That wasn't what I was talking about. I was talking about at the age that she is. If you start her now to find out what her gifts are and talents are, and to teach her to save now at 11, where will she be at 50 if she's able to save $120 a month? The average American doesn't even have $400 in a savings account. Okay? Credit card is not a savings account. So I was trying to share with them, let her start a little business. Start the creativity in their mind early, that they can find something that they can use to create their independence. And let me tell you why. If you don't, they'll still have the handout in their 20s. And then in their 30s, and sometime in their 20s, they have little people with them. And both of them have the handout. In Greenville County, we lost, they say, a young lady because of, I don't know what it was, but they say she took her own life, and she was in her 20s, sitting in the parking lot of a restaurant. Don't know the whole story. We want to keep the family in prayer. And we would say, if you're 20, what stress could you be under? But when no one has prepared you, and you not stopped to listen, then at 20, they'll have their hand out and they're already behind. At 25, they'll still be living with you. At 30, they'll still have their hand out. And then if they leave, they come back. So if you start them early and teach them the value of independence and saving, by the time they're 50, they will not be like many 80% of America, well, 90+% of Americans right now who are living off of Social Security, and that's only $600 to $1,100, maybe $1,200 a month. And right now, in Greenville, Malden, and Easley, a low-income rent is $1,200 a month. And if that's all you're getting, then you only can afford a low-income apartment on the first level. And that is making $19 an hour. And you can't buy gas. So we have to do something different, but it's hard to do something different if you're broken by something that no longer exists. This is why we're going to talk about brokenness. And so most people that are broken, they have this kind of a downtrodden attitude and they feel real bad about themselves. But here's what I want to say to the people who broken, who fail. Brokenness means now you really can get it together and get it right and keep it right. One mistake does not define the rest of your life. One bad decision doesn't define. The problem with most people that they can't move on is they keep going back to a failed, broken moment in their life. And they see everything through that optical illusion of brokenness. I failed. My mom wasn't happy with me. My dad wasn't happy with me. I didn't get my job. My cousin got the job. I wasn't chosen the prom queen. I wasn't able to finish school. And so that becomes the hangnail of life. And here's what happens. Many people have learned to function in dysfunction. give you a turn, whatever. You know what the other part of that is? Somebody know whatever, it be might not have me. I mean, I don't know, man. I might get the job. I may not. I'm good. No, what we have said is all except nothing. Yes. But see, you don't understand. Nothing spreads to the people that are around you. And when you have nothing, now you're a liability to everybody that's in your life. People have learned that to function in dysfunction, which makes them dysfunctional in every aspect of their life. And here's where people, I gave the 4 things: illusion, imagination, hallucination, and hypothetical thinking. It sums up like this: then many try to attempt to immune themselves to walking and living in pain. And this is when they have that terrible attitude. They're in pain. You ever spoke to somebody? Hey, what are you speaking to me for? How you doing? Why? What you looking at me for? And then they roll their eyes. You're like, I just spoke to you this morning. Because if you say hi, you should have said hello. If you say hello, you should have said what's up. If you say what's up, don't talk to me like that. There's something already going on in that person. It's something. It's not you. You got your own issues. Don't open the door to those issues. Here's what happens. They're not sick enough yet of dysfunctional behavior and living and walking in darkness. Anytime that you're in pain, you're walking in the past. It's not the pain of growing. It's the pain of stagnation. And stagnation creates procrastination. Here is what most people are broken in. And see, one of the things that I've learned when I was just trying to talk to the mother and the young girl, I done worked all day, I'm tired. So you don't want to hear nothing. You don't want to hear something that could change your daughter's life and possibly change yours. You just want everybody to shut up so you can go home and lay down. Sometimes people are trying to give you keys to your future, and you're still trapped behind a door that doesn't have a key. So here's the thing: brokenness comes from chasing the moments. Older people would call it, and I'm quite sure you can attest to this, you chasing the wind. You don't know which way to go. That's an old school word, chasing the wind. Everything come along, you in it. Everything come along, you got to do that. Every style come along, you got to have it. Every new tennis shoe come out, you got to have it. Every new hairstyle come out, you got to have it. Until you don't have no hair. Then you just got one style. And so today we were laughing because, we always, we don't always, but people talk about women and hair pieces and sectionals, all that. Men wear toupees too. Yeah, your friend, yeah, he got it. Yeah, he said, yeah, you right. Yeah, men have on, don't look like that. Men go now and get them a little bit of hair. Do what now? Yes, in fact, I was talking to a guy yesterday, and he was doing his own hair, and the blade came off, and he skinned his head, and he already had bald, so he had another big old bald patch, and another dude in church said, come on with me, man. They went in the bathroom, and he sprayed something on it. Came on out, didn't look like he had a patch in his head. Men. Brokenness is chasing moments that no longer exist. The other part of brokenness is striking back. Sometimes you're striking back, and you're striking back at people that's trying to get you to go forward. But if you refuse to listen, then you see everything as an attack on you. You see what I'm saying? See, to listen means to get new information but the problem is people want new information, but they don't want to be accountable. It's like a physician writes you a prescription, and now you smarter than the physician. So you're not going to take it because it upsets your stomach. Well, sometimes the parasite is in your stomach because you eat everything. And as old folks say, sometimes you got to get your dysenteries cleaned out. You know that word, don't you? You got to get your dysenteries cleaned out. Y'all young folks, look that one up. You got to get your dysentery. You got yours cleaned out about 2 weeks ago. Ate some old bad fish. I thought he was on a whiskey run. His brother said, oh, no, bastard, that fish. I knew something. I knew I shouldn't have ate that fish. But I went in there anyway. Brokenness is chasing moments that you can't get back and chasing wins. Part of brokenness is striking back. And many people are broken because they refuse to embrace new information and new ways. Because new information means there has to be something new established to move forward. So what we begin to do when we strike back is taking our pain out on others. Boy, the church went quiet on that. There are some people in your life, because they have issues and dealing with brokenness, they're taking their frustrations out on you. And that becomes a weight on you. And they use things like, well, if you love me, I can love you, but I can't tolerate that. Boy, y'all make me feel like I'm still in Greenville. I love you, but that doesn't line up with our union. Does this make sense? Let me take y'all to the word, because I had to go here with Greenville today. Psalms 15, stanza 1 through 4. I'm going to read it in the NIV, and then I'm going to do the fourth stanza in King James. Lord, who may dwell in your sacred tent, who may live on your holy mountain. Now, here's the one. Here's where it gets tough. The one who walk in blamelessness. When you're acting out, you're taking your pain, your bad day out on people who are supposed to be supporting you. And most of the time, it's because of the undiscipline in your behavior. Food will do you that way. You know that, don't you? If you don't get the right food, you'll be in the mood. Y'all ain't looking well. Y'all might be hungry now. Who does what is what? Which means do it the right way. Come on and say that's hard to do, isn't it? Okay, so that's an indicator that we all got a little it in us. Okay, who speaks? Here comes the problem. Who speaks the what? From their. If God has not circumcised your heart, you'll still be lying to people when you need to be telling them the truth. And we are guilty of not telling our children. Because we don't want to hurt. And we want to get invited to the cookout and the wedding. And we want our Christmas presents on. But listen to what the Bible says. Who speaks the truth from their heart. If your heart has not been circumcised in God, so should we be telling this boy, we're going to get out of here in a minute because y'all ain't looking well. Should we be telling people what they want to hear? Or should we be telling people what they need to know? Everybody rolling their eyes at me, so those of y'all that's out there. So, okay, so then when we going to start that? Sometime this year. We gonna start that sometime, but not right now. Who speaks the truth from their heart. I tell you, one of the most funniest videos is watching Bishop Jakes talk about young people talking about being 100. Have y'all seen that video? Look it up. It's on TikTok. He talking about you be 100 if you want to. You won't be married. Go to work Monday and be 100 and start telling people how you feel. You won't have no job. And then he says something about relationships. Some questions you should not be asking. There's one in there where the woman says, how do my hips look in this dress? Y'all watch the video. I hollered when I heard that one. I said, good Lord. He just told the truth. You could tell he's gotten older because he didn't give that no kind of butter, slick. It looked like two bears fighting in the woods under the covers. You know, just. But, come on, what's the next one? Whose tongue utters what? Stop taking your frustrations out on other people. Some people watch too much drama TV. Tom and Ricky. Ricky and Becky. Becky and Ricky. Susie and Bobby. Bobby and Henrietta. You don't know who going with who. And some of y'all can name all of the soap operas. Mother ain't looking well over there. Because what was one of your favorite? Days of Our Lives. Some of y'all know everybody, know who died and who came back. How do you die on TV and come back? All the time. Just multiple times you die and come back. Oh, they got to bring him back. I know he coming back. Because what it does is it sets up the minutia and you start living your life in drama. All right? Come on, let's put that scripture back up. So we should stop taking our frustrations out on people and slandering people. Stop telling people what they're not. Give them the truth. And then tell them what they can be. And who does no wrong, y'all need to quit flipping people off when they driving. Yeah, he woke up then. He started. You seen your grandparents do that. Your mama do it? Your mama be flipping people off? See, her finger work. Your grandparents got arthritis in their middle finger, so they can't flip nobody off. But your mama probably got a little juice and a little smoke in her finger, so hers just pop up, you know. So, yeah. But it says to do no wrong to what? Look at somebody and say, stop being so nosy. Who that? What they doing over there? Who car that is? Yeah, her husband left at 2. Yeah, it's another car over there at 2:15. Look at y'all. Some of y'all about to choke on spit, snot, and everything else. Who that is? If I see that car again, I'm about to say something to her husband. I'm about to say something to his wife. Stop. Do no wrong to your neighbor. And do what? And cast no. So why do y'all let people make y'all a trash can? They just dump all they mess on you. You can't sing, don't know the words the praise and worship leader trying to give you because you somewhere just full of the words of people. Come on. Then want the preacher to preach you happy. So you can tear up the carpet and not put nothing in the offering plate. Come on, we're almost done. We got to get to this last one. We're going to go home. All right. This is in the King James Version, stanza 4. And whose eyes a veiled person is contentment. Don't fool with people who are dysfunctional. But he that honoreth them that fear who? And this doesn't mean be afraid of God. It means walk in godliness. In other words, do what's right. Have a pure, clean heart. And we don't have that. We have to develop that through Christ. All right? So don't think that you get a free pass to keep being stupid. Then he said, well, I ain't got that yet, so I'm gonna go do this and go do that. Then he says this. Here is the word. He that what? This is what having the ability to listen will do. When you hear new information, don't reject it because you are full of garbage and pain. Here is the biggest difference between the 5 wise and the 5 foolish in this parable, is how you process what you received. The 5 wise prepped and had enough oil in their vessel. The 5 foolish heard the same thing. They were all on the same level, but the problem was the 5 foolish thought what they had was good enough. So I bring this parable into us who have been with Christ, those that are coming to Christ, those that are going to be born into Christ. If an animal sheds its skin 2 to 4 times a year, why do you think you don't have to evolve and shed some of your old ways and old behaviors? The Bible talks about you can't take new wine and put in an old wine skin, because one, flavoring, and it says the old one will burst, because the new wine is going to have a new acetic acid in it that the old wine skin is not comfortable with, so it's going to create friction. What most people are suffering from is they refuse to hear new information, and to hear new information and a new way of doing it, they become part of the foolish. And the other thing is, if you're on the same line and you were made out of the same material, why do you process things to the negative when you should be processing them to the positive? Does this make sense? So then, as we close this little bit, healing begins with separation from things that cannot take you to your purpose and your destiny. There are some things and some people that don't fit your purpose and your destiny. Let me make it plain. What generally happens is when you're having dysfunction and issues in your life, or at a certain level in your life, you pick people at that point. Most people don't pick people that can be where they're planning to grow. Can I give you all a real example? Most women and men like flowers. Men like flowers. I like flowers. You don't have to bring me none, but I like flowers. Feel kind of weird. Dude be like, I want to give you some flowers, Reggie. Okay. But here's the thing. When you see a flower, you see the bloom. But here's what you don't see. When you see the bloom, you also see the death of the flower. Ask me why. It can't bloom again. When you see those beautiful roses, they're at their peak and at the door of death. What are you saying? It has a lifespan on it. And many things and many behaviors in our lives have a shelf life on it. And when that shelf life has expired and we're trying to move on, you and I had a wonderful relationship, and someone didn't want you to do something, and it caused a lot of issues because you wanted something nicer and better, but because they couldn't control it, and you went out and did all the work and saved all your money, but because you didn't, they wanted you to ask them for what you had the capabilities of doing for yourself. See, when you start growing, you need to also make sure the person you with has room to grow too. Because as your life changes and evolves, now if you're still the same size, wearing the same haircut, looking the same way as you was when you were 12, Thank you. Thank you. I didn't want to say that. If you still look like you did, and don't be like the man on the commercial talking about, I had these in college. Yes, you did, but they don't fit like they fitted in college. There's some jogging outfits you need to let jog on. Okay? If you had to evolve, and if the creatures in the earth have to shed their skin, and a caterpillar that's a moth has to change, then you need to pick something and pick a job and pick a career and pick a person that has the capacity to grow. Because as you progress, sometime what you met when you were feeling bad about yourself will try to trap you for where you were and not be able to assist you to where you're going. Am I right? And it doesn't have anything to do with love. You could truly love them. You're not looking well. But they don't have the capacity. I'm gonna say, y'all not looking well. I'm trying to go home. Y'all not like I just gave y'all some bad news. Let me make it plain. Jacob, what size shoe you wear? What size? Can I have a shoe for a minute? Can you, your feet don't stink, do they? Just send your shoe up here. Send your shoe up here. Come on up here. Because you'll be wanting to sing if it was a holiday. I want you to take your shoe off. I want you to give me your shoe. Oh, I like your shoes. You got new shoes. Did you pay your offering in church, or you just took your offering and bought some shoes? You don't know. Okay, we ain't going to ask you. You see the shoe? Who in here has on a size 12? All right, ain't nobody want to act like that. You got a 12? Okay, you finna tell a lie in church, okay? You got your mama's spirit. No, I'm gonna show you something. That's a 12. When you were young, come on, stand up, people, something, Jacob. Hey, pay me out, hope. Look to Jacob. All right. When you was Jacob's age, this fitted you. Okay? When you was Jacob's age. But when you get my age, how these gonna work? It doesn't fit. Sometimes your gifts are too big for the people you're talking to. And sometimes the mind of people are too short for where you're going. So you wear a size 2. This is a size 12. As you grow, some of us are still stuck with people who are size 2. So now how y'all gonna work with each other? Because I can't put his shoe on and he can't walk in mine. So you have a choice to make. You either find what's gonna fit your future or die stuck in a shoe don't fit. God bless y'all. I'll see you soon. Thank you, Jacob.